We've talked about it on the show before. I'll give you a quick recap if you haven't heard about it. But the idea is you go 28 straight days and you eat nothing but meat, eggs, and cheese. That's it. Meat, eggs, cheese. If you get bored of that, it's cheese, meat, eggs. And it's for 28 days straight. And the idea is that you're ridding your body completely of sugar and all of the stored energy that it has. And you just basically, and once you're done the 28 days, the idea is you go on a keto diet. So basically, whatever you're putting into your body, you're using that energy right away rather than storing it away. And if you can pull it off for 28 days, I guarantee you it is a life changer when it comes to your diet.
I always feel so much better when I'm having a strictly protein-based diet and I'm not eating before morning skate. So if we're skating at 10 or 11, I just have a coffee, maybe another one at the rink, and then no food till like 1 or 2 p.m. when I get home. That's when I'm at my best. I'm light, I'm mobile, and that energy from the protein goes right into use as opposed to you're sitting on carbs from the night before. Some of the guys that I would play with, I never understood this. Every day, some of the guys would go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a breakfast sandwich, the croissant, the egg and cheese. Like, first off, think about how bad your gas is going to be when you're parked crease-side trying to tip pucks in front of me. But secondly, how bad you would feel all the carbs and how bloated you would be as opposed to just have a cup of Joe, nice and light, and some protein after.
Well, different strokes for different folks. And actually, I've mentioned this before on the pod as well. We're back for another season, so I may repeat myself a little bit until we get into the swing of things. But one thing I've always found fascinating is recently I've been doing some research on it, is that you should actually eat closer to what your blood type is. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. And when I mentioned the metabolic reset, consult your doctor first before you try something like that. But eating according to your blood type could certainly help your metabolism for sure. But I'm at the point now where I'm probably only eating once, maybe 1.5 times a day. Because, and I don't, they used to always say breakfast is the most important meal of the day because that's what's going to give you your energy for the day. Not if I had a giant meal the night before, because if I eat a giant meal the night before and all I do is sit around all night and then go to sleep, I've got a whole bunch of kinetic energy sitting there waiting for me to use. And so I'll use that through the next day and let my body burn all that off instead of just piling more stuff on top of it. And that's when you start getting all this stored energy. When I'm talking about stored energy, I'm talking about fat. That's basically what it is. It's basically just stored sugar. So instead of like carrying that around, the idea is that you just eat what you need. And the best way I can describe it is if sugar is the equivalent to what batteries are for electronics. No, hear me out on this. If you're constantly having to change them all the time, in and out, in and out, in and out, rather than being plugged into a wall for energy where it's constant energy when you need it, that's what I feel like being on more of being in ketosis, which is what you're trying to get to after the metabolic recess. It's like being plugged into a wall. I know exactly what kind of energy I'm going to need for this. I know exactly what I need to eat for this, and I know exactly when that energy is going to run out.
I don't know about you. I remember in elementary and even high school, they talk about 3 meals a day. You got to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
When in reality, back to the caveman days, not even caveman days, even like 100, 200 years ago, you're lucky if you ate once a day. Like
right.
You don't need to be eating all the time. Like going to Starbucks and get your breakfast sandwich and your banana loaf and your 400-calorie coffee in the morning, and then you have your lunch. You don't need that shit.
Again, it's not one size fits all. Some people have different metabolism. Some people have different, structures and body shapes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying that's 100% the right way, but I think more often than not that we've been led down this false road of you have to, remember the 4 major food groups?
Oh, yeah.
That was all horse crap.
That was a scam.
Yeah, the three squares a day, not necessarily. It all depends what you're eating. And a lot of times, too, we're being fooled by, if it has a check mark on the box, people go, oh, it's got a check mark, must be good for me. And you take it home. Meanwhile, if you're not checking the actual nutritional value on it, you could be pounding yourself full of diabetes.
You get that pear-shaped body.
Yeah. Moving on.
Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We do a new podcast every single Sunday during the season called Sling the Biscuit. It is a non-mainstream hockey podcast, so we talk about my hockey career, the minor pros, Spain, the Fed, you name it, all the stuff that you won't hear in the mainstream news.
Music,
Pop culture.
politics, a little bit.
Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you soon.